dust is settled, what did this year kind of reveal to you about the core that you have and what you guys need to do to be as good as you want going forward?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, it
It
just
wasn't a rival player who fired the first warning shot, but a coach whose quiet decision had already turned the entire league on edge before the season even began. Connecticut Sun head coach Stephanie White didn't call a press conference, didn't send a tweet, and didn't chase headlines. Instead, she crafted something far more dangerous, a philosophy, a strategy, a silent declaration of war that quickly became the unofficial blueprint for handling the most electrifying rookie the game had ever seen. This wasn't loud, but it was deliberate, a shadow campaign built behind closed doors, drawn on clipboards, drilled into players, and unleashed with ruthless precision. Suddenly, the question wasn't whether Caitlin Clark could dominate, but whether the league had already begun a coordinated effort to slow her down before her rise truly started. White's message echoed without ever being spoken. There would be no special treatment, no red carpet, no gentle welcome for the rookie who shattered viewership records and packed arenas across America. Instead, Clark would face suffocating pressure, relentless physicality, and defensive schemes usually reserved for hardened veterans. This wasn't about one game, it was about setting the tone for the entire league, drawing a hard line that hype, media frenzy, and sold-out crowds meant nothing once the ball tipped. On the court, Clark wasn't a phenomenon, a marketing miracle, or the future of the league. She was simply the opponent, a target, and she would be treated like one. That was the real announcement, a silent promise of the punishing reality waiting ahead, and Stephanie White, with her gritty basketball roots and deep understanding of the professional grind, was uniquely built to deliver it, because she knows something every veteran understands. In this league, respect is never given, it's earned through contact, pressure, and survival. It isn't given freely, it's ripped away from opponents, earned through fire, sweat, and bruises, and that hardened belief sits at the core of her coaching philosophy. Her Connecticut Sun embody that mentality perfectly, a ruthless reflection of her tenacity and competitive fire, feared across the league for suffocating physicality, lockdown defense, and a relentless style that doesn't just win games but drains opponents mentally and physically until they finally break. This wasn't a sudden shift designed for Caitlin Clark. This was their identity, their DNA, built over years of grinding intensity, meaning White didn't need to reinvent anything to challenge the highly touted rookie. She simply pointed her already sharpened weapon directly at her. With battle-tested enforcers like Alyssa Thomas and Dejonai Carrington ready to execute the league's unspoken, brutal code, the Sun became the perfect vessel for White's message. And when they met the Indiana Fever, it felt less like a basketball game and more like a prime-time demonstration of a ruthless blueprint unfolding in real time. From the opening possession of their first nationally televised clash, fans expecting a Caitlin Clark showcase instead witnessed relentless pressure. She wasn't just guarded, she was hunted, face-guarded the full 94 feet, bumped on every cut, bodied on every drive, challenged on every pass, every dribble, every shot. Carrington, in particular, became a shadow, bringing a storm of energy and aggression that never eased, executing a strategy that was brutally simple: disrupt the rhythm, deny the ball, force low-percentage decisions, and make every possession physically exhausting. The box score revealed turnovers and inefficient shooting, but statistics alone couldn't capture the real story: the visible fatigue, the mounting frustration, and the unmistakable sense that the Sun weren't just playing basketball, they were imposing their will, suffocating the moment, and sending a chilling message to the rest of the league. The message became unmistakable with every hip check, every punishing screen, every extra shove after the whistle. Stephanie White had unleashed a masterclass in psychological and physical warfare, and through the Connecticut Sun, she was showing the entire league that Caitlin Clark, the untouchable college superstar, was human, vulnerable, and forced to endure 40 minutes of relentless professional brutality. It wasn't just a win, it was a proof of concept, and once the blueprint was revealed, it spread like wildfire. Coaches watched, players took notes, and suddenly the physicality intensified everywhere Clark went. The infamous off-ball hip check from Chindy Carter of the Chicago Sky didn't feel like an isolated moment. It felt like a symptom of something bigger, a league-wide trial of toughness where every possession became a referendum on Clark's resilience. The bumps became shoves, the defense turned into full-court harassment, and the rookie welcome became a nightly battle, transforming her season into a brutal endurance test both physically and mentally. She wasn't just the #1 pick. She entered the league as a cultural phenomenon, carrying impossible expectations while being targeted night after night, creating a suffocating pressure that blurred the line between strategy and psychological warfare. Whispers of jealousy grew louder as veterans who had spent years building the league watched the spotlight shift overnight. Charter flights, national broadcasts, record-breaking jersey sales, and the controversial Olympic snub only poured gasoline on the fire, reinforcing the belief that she still had to earn respect the hard way. Yet in a stunning twist, the strategy meant to contain her began to backfire spectacularly, turning Clark into the sympathetic hero, the underdog fighting an entire league, with every hard foul and tough loss deepening fan loyalty and intensifying national interest. Instead of breaking her, the relentless pressure began forging her, forcing quicker reads, smarter playmaking, and stronger composure, while every Indiana Fever game transformed into must-see television. The irony became impossible to ignore. In trying to dim her star, the league only amplified it, creating a narrative far bigger than basketball itself. And now the question hangs heavier than ever. Did the league build an insurmountable wall around Caitlin Clark, or did they unknowingly create the very legend they were trying to stop? Fire Basketball.